How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Crypto Clout. On this episode, we will actually be talking about Cardano. But first, we are in fact doing a Bitcoin giveaway on this channel. So if you would like a chance to win free Bitcoin, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, put on post notifications, like this video, and remember to comment down below, including your Bitcoin wallet address, and also a comment explaining why you would like to win. And yeah, we're actually randomly selecting the winners on Friday. So anybody who would like a chance to win free Bitcoin, really easy chance to do so. All you have to do is be subscribed to the channel. But remember, this giveaway is only for subscribers to the channel, so that's the only thing that you really have to do to be qualified, and we will be choosing the winner this Friday. So all that being said, there are a lot of really interesting developments happening in the world of Cardano as we currently see. So when I think about all the different ways that smart contracts essentially are going to revolutionize the way that things are currently operating within society, Cardano is very difficult to ignore when you consider the cryptocurrency revolution and how all the different developments that are taking place within the space are going to essentially affect the way that every single person lives their lives in the way of the future. Now, this type of concept might seem scary to a lot of people, but really, to me, it's very inspiring to think that we're so early in the space right now. And looking at the various different news articles regarding Cardano, definitely really interesting to see how there's this it seems as if the public is really interested in the new age of these altcoins have the potential to really move up. And I think people are getting tired of these already established like Bitcoin and so forth. And I think there's definitely a lot of potential in store for these up and coming technologies that have a lot of wiggle room and a lot of potential to develop exactly how they want to approach a lot of these fundamental things that we'll see them approaching within the next year. So fundamentally, 2018, 2019, this is going to be a very big time as we continue to see Cardano coming into its own, and all these various different developments that have been happening regarding the technology. So across the board, it's very early, but it is an interesting time nonetheless to be paying attention to this space. So congratulations to everybody who's essentially knows what they're talking about when it comes to these things, because it does take a long time to really analyze. And my understanding of all this, my understanding of Cardano is fundamentally data driven. And I think it's also important to look at the team that's working on the technology to gain a fundamental foundation understanding of where things are going to go. But ultimately, I would say smart contracts are a pretty safe bet when it comes to the way of the future, in my opinion. This technology developing quite impressively. I'm very interested in seeing the various things that have been happening in the world of Cardano. Specifically, when we talk about Cardano, it's important to frame the conversation in the context of the entire history of cryptocurrency, because when you consider what Bitcoin was, the introduction of digital currency into the public consciousness was essentially a really big movement. And Bitcoin, up until this point, I believe everybody and their mother and their grandmother has heard of Bitcoin due to all the recent publicity that we had seen over the past couple of months. And anybody who's been involved with cryptocurrency for any amount of years, well, we were well acquainted with a wide variety of cryptocurrencies. However, with the Ethereum and the introduction of smart contracts, and of course, this sort of shifted the paradigm as well, took us out of the Bitcoin era, which was essentially the first wave of cryptocurrencies. You all remember Bitcoin is essentially digital gold, a placeholder for value, and of course it has multiple other uses as well, but this is generally how the trend of understanding the conversation that's been happening regarding these technologies has been moving. So once we enter into the age of Ethereum with smart contracts and so forth, it's important to take into consideration how smart contracts changed the game. So when I look at a technology like Cardano, for instance, and I take into consideration this new paradigm that we've been existing in, where smart contracts have essentially revolutionized the way that people have this capability of doing all these various different things in the realm of transactions and so forth, because trust is everything when it comes to people having these various different exchanges and so forth. So when it comes down to Cardano and the way that they've been positioning themselves, I think that there's really a lot of potential in store for Cardano as we continue to move forward. And we see these developments that are in the way for Cardano to really, it's really a perfect storm for this technology as things continue to move forward. A lot of people have been making the speculations, a lot of positive conversations happening with Cardano. Obviously, with every cryptocurrency, there's going to be people saying positive and negative things about them, and you sort of have to take hearing people's opinions with a grain of salt in this space, especially when it's so volatile and every single day, in particular when we consider the fact that the current state of affairs when it comes to the global market cap is at 334. It's sort of been struggling to move along, but of course it is important to remember that it is a very volatile space, and of course we are sort of going through what I would call a healthy correction. I would say that we never really fully escaped what was happening in April 5th, and the general conversation that's been happening has been, it's interesting to see how certain levels of the cryptocurrency community have been developing and getting really excited about these technologies, while at the same time we've been witnessing sort of an upheaval of various different opinions in the light of all these different things that have been happening. But of course it has created a new opportunity for Cardano to move upward, and I think that Cardano probably won't be staying at this number 8 position very long. I think as we continue to see things moving forward, the potential that's in store for this technology, really the sky's the limit when it comes to Cardano. So I definitely recommend that everybody go and follow Cardano on their official Twitter. Twitter really is a fantastic resource when it comes to staying up to date regarding these technologies, and when it comes to cryptocurrency, knowledge really is power. So of course remember, you could follow and stay up to date with Cardano on their Twitter, but of course this YouTube channel has its own Twitter page as well, so you guys can go and follow us on here. And of course we're starting up the new Twitter page, Crypto Clout, basically more of a community driven channel, so if you guys have any interesting content, feel free to share it with us. So moving forward, 2019 is essentially going to be a huge determining year for the overall acceptance of cryptocurrency in respect to how society is going to configure a way to use these applications in various different levels of society. And we're seeing it happen in front of us right now with people using technologies like Cardano and these various technologies actually performing the service that they were created to perform, and acting as more than just a way for people to invest and treat it like the stock market, but actually servicing the functionality of various different components of society in a way that they were actually created to do so. And the way that we've seen banks and all these different sectors of society really receive an overhaul from this new level of doing things, it is fundamentally interesting. But of course you have to remember, this is all just my opinion. Of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not your dad. The whole purpose of me making this content is so that I could just share my opinion and for discussion purposes. And I'd, of course, encourage everybody to include your opinion down in the comments down below. And, of course, share with them. Share us your opinions on Twitter, of course. We'll be including a link to the Twitter down in the description. But yeah, just remember, I'm not your dad. Standard disclaimer, this is not financial advice. We want to hear everybody's opinion here. So we'll actually be including a link to this video right here by Kyle Willson. I recommend everybody go and subscribe to this channel. Really interesting content talking about really the similar things we've gone over in this video. He talks about the potential of Cardano being worth $2. I'm inclined to agree with the math that's basically driven him to come to that conclusion. And ultimately, in my opinion, I would say that there's a lot of interesting things happening with Cardano, and we could really be looking forward to the potential that's in store for this technology as things continue to develop and we see cryptocurrency develop into what it's essentially going to be in the world of tomorrow, which is really going to change the way that people interact in the world. And it's really exciting stuff to be involved with it this early. So I just want to thank everybody for following us on Twitter and, of course, supporting the channel and so forth. It's really awesome to have this community. And I will see you guys in the next content. Have a good one.